and welcome to the most peaceful place, where the fruiting plants and animals roam free. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of them, as they make this piece of haven very enjoyable for all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming to Peaceful Village. Hello everyone, Michael Lanfield here, and thank you for joining me. I am so blessed to be here, so grateful to be here. I'm from Peaceful Village, raw vegan healing community in the Amazon jungle. So today's video is very important. I want to talk to you about, because this is really, this is really something that we are witnessing now, and that we are doing our best to get the community around to participate. So let me explain what I'm talking about. So ever since I started writing and have released the book, The New Mother Earth, I have witnessed, and even before also, I have witnessed a lot of devastation happening in nature, in the Amazon jungles, in the place called Ecuador, where we are. And I see a lot of destruction. I see a lot of people planting monoculture of crops for selling, like cacao and other plants. Animal grazing as well. Just destroying nature. And they're not growing trees, fruit trees, native trees. They're just destroying lands. They're clearing a lot around buildings, around houses and things that they're building, and they just leave the land barren. There's a lot of grass, a lot of weeds growing, this kind of thing. Pollution, hunting, killing of animals, killing of fish in the ocean, fish in the rivers, and things like that. So there is an alternative to this. Animal agriculture and monocultures are destroying the earth, that ultimately harms everyone in the process. And so we need to be careful about what we're doing, not to harm and destroy. Otherwise, we're not going to live. We're not going to be able to survive and thrive. And we're not, as a human species, we're not going to be able to, not only thrive and survive and thrive, we're not going to be alive. And we're going to take countless of other species along with us. That's the sad part. We're destroying the lives of, probably every year, trillions upon trillions of beings that are being slaughtered in animal agriculture, in monocropping, in creating towns and cities and things like this. It's not sustainable. Growing fruits, especially fruit trees, veganically, in a permaculture way, non-monocropping, is the most efficient way of growing our food, having our clothes, this kind of things. Of course, we're transitioning, so we just have to do the best we can. But I see a lot of destruction happening. And I want to talk to people about this, because this is really devastating, and I see this happening firsthand. I don't see it just on video. I see it firsthand happening. I see the burning happening. I see the destruction happening close to where we are. I've seen other people. It happened to other people. For example, the gentleman called Obram that wrote, one of the people that wrote one of the forwards to my book, The New Mother Earth. He is in a community in Brazil. It's devastating the lands there. And most likely, I didn't go into the details and all that, We really pray for him and do whatever we can to help and send a lot of high vibration to these people that are causing their actions causing the destruction. Most of it is caused, if not all of it, is caused, or almost entirely all of it, is caused by animal agriculture. In Brazil, especially, is very big, and they're deforesting most of the land for animal agriculture. Okay? Animal agriculture in any form, in any shape, small farming, large farming, backyard farming, organic, whatever, it's all violence. It's destroying our earth, the earth that we need, our mother earth, our mother. Imagine, we come from the earth. Everyone comes from the earth. At least everyone here on this earth comes from the earth. And so we must take care and respect our mother instead of destroying and raping, and to give back to the earth, to maintain the earth, to replant native trees and fruiting trees, to put back, to give back to the earth by composting, vegan composting, our human manure, our urine, our excrement, by utilizing rainwater, building ecologically as we can, to doing what we can, to being the change we want to see in the world. No form of agriculture other than veganic. Now, I don't like the term organic because organic implies that we're able to still use animals, domesticated animals, for our inputs. So feather meal, bone meal, manure, fish meal, blood meal, this kind of thing. And I don't care where it comes from, if the animal is dead on the road, or if the manure is on someone else's land, and the sources do not come from factory farms. That's not the issue. The issue is we see other beings as things to be used. We see their secretions, their excrements to be used. Right? So veganic is a practice where we actually we take the practices or the life of who we are, vegans, saying no, we don't want to use animals and to see animals for anything, just as companions, basically, and to admire them in nature and to interact with them in nature. But to use vegan compost, mulch, and other things, that humus and so forth, and other things that rejuvenate the soil rather than deplete the soil. Now, animal manure coming from other animals, because we're animals too, at least part animal, taking all our inputs and putting it back into the land. So veganic is the solution. Veganic is the solution. So we don't need to use animals for anything. It's destroying the land. The lands all around. Now, even if, I just forgot this part, even if in the short term, even if animal manure or blood meal or bone meal or feather meal or whatever, or chemicals help in some way increase the production and create faster production, we need to go in nature's pace. We don't need to go in the pace that, hey, I want my fruits and vegetables quick, quick, quick. I need quick fruits and vegetables. I need to eat now. I need to eat tomorrow, not 10 years from now. I need to eat now. In the short term, chemicals and animal inputs work. I can agree they work, and work much better than using veganic methods. But it's not a long-term sustainable way of growing food. It uses and abuses animals. It still sees other animals as things to be used. Their secretions and excretions to be used. We don't want anything to do with that. That's why we're vegans. And we trust in the process of nature to do the job with our help, tending and caring to the earth and planting and putting compost and mulch and humus and this kind of stuff. With our help, it does take time. In the first few years, it does take time for production, for the fruits and vegetables to start bearing and getting substantial amount of food. But nature is like that. Nature takes time, takes her time. If in society we want everything quick. Yeah, I want my food quick. Yeah, I want this quick. I want this quick. I want this quick. I want this quick. But that's not how it works in nature. Everything is much, much slower. So when people manipulate things, for example, we like to grow most, if not all of our food from seeds. Okay? Of course, there are certain plants that you cannot grow, you cannot propagate them from seed, like bananas, for example. Or another plant that comes to mind is babako, that comes from Loja in Ecuador. You cannot grow those from seed. Even breadfruit. Breadfruit you cannot grow from seed because breadfruit has no seed. Now there's bread nut, which is the same thing that has a seed. But if the fruit does not have a seed, you have to propagate them in a different way. Right? But most fruit, if not majority of fruit, at least from my knowledge and experience, are grown from seed. And we plant them from seed because they are less resistant to diseases and insects and infestation and so forth. And also it creates usually a completely new plant. So it's not a kind of a clone of another one. So for example, we have a plant called katuk, or it's also called sweet leaf. It's a green leafy plant, and you propagate it by cutting it and putting the stem in the ground. However, there's also fruits that has seeds. And when here on the land, for some reason, I only seen our katuk with one fruit in my life. But yeah, all the clones here are basically from the same plant, right? From the same plant. So it's better to, I'm going to just turn this a little bit because it's too much light. But basically it's better to plant directly from the seed. But we planted most of them because we didn't have seeds, most of them, or actually I should say all of them, from the stem. So as soon as we get a fruit, we're going to plant from seed. Same thing with pineapples. If you take the top or the sucker and you put it in the ground, it's basically the same plant or the same family. And so we need to plant directly with seeds. So on our land, Peaceful Village Raw Vegan Healing Community, we specifically emphasize that we are a veganic farm. Okay, we are an intentional healing community. We have a farm, no domesticated animals on our land. It's veganically grown, so no chemicals whatsoever on the crops on the land, as best as we can. We don't use any of that kind of stuff. And Yeah, if there's animals passing by and peeing and shitting everywhere, we welcome their urine and excrement. But we don't use animals for anything. Domesticated animals roaming around, chickens, cows, nothing like that. No dogs, no pets. We are very strict about that in our core values. No animal sanctuary here, nothing like that. So people ask me, can I bring my dogs? Unfortunately, we don't allow, our core values are no dogs, no cats, no domesticated animals. They should be free in nature in their biological habitat. That's it. You can read my book, The New Mother Earth, to learn more about that. Yeah, so we're very, very strict, very emphasizing. I don't even like the word strict, but we emphasize veganic. And if anybody wants to know more about this veganic growing and wants to hear my first-hand experiences about the devastations of what's happening in the Amazon, I have some stories. I can talk to you in your podcast. We have high-speed fiber optic internet here. We can have a one-on-one live conversation or pre-recorded for your YouTube channel, BitChute channel, whatever channel that you have. We want to say this. We want to tell people because we see the devastation and we need to do whatever we can non-violently to share this message with the rest of the human population. So thank you for joining me here I'm Michael Lanfield from Peaceful Village Raw Vegan Healing Community, and I will talk to you soon. So take care, everybody, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share these videos with as many people as you can. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.